The death of Florida A&M University drum major Robert Champion has sparked an emotional discussion around our state and across the country about hazing among students.
Champion, who was 26 years old, died last November. Investigators believe he was beaten by some fellow band members in the back of a bus following a football game, and the fallout at FAMU continues now that the family is suing, seeking justice. Hazing itself has been around for centuries, and Champion's death is just the latest in a long line of tragedies. Channel 4's Jason Law heard from the family of another young man who died in a hazing incident at the University of Miami, and he tells us how this death changed the laws we have today.
In the fall of 2001, Chad Meredith was a student at the University of Miami. Meredith was pledging the Kappa Sigma fraternity, and one night after drinking, investigators say two frat brothers convinced him to swim across a lake.
He was hollering, "Help, I need help, I need help, I'm hurting, I need help." There was one boy 16 feet from him. That was one of the leaders of the fraternity, and he actually swam away from him, and these are supposed to be brothers.
Chad Meredith drowned 34 feet from shore. Investigators found he had a blood alcohol level of 0.13. More than 10 years later, Kelly Henson breaks down when she thinks about how her brother's death has affected her mom and dad.
And as hard as it is for us, I can't imagine what it is for them. It's difficult.
Today, the family is proud of Chad's legacy. The Chad Meredith Act changed the law in Florida and made it a crime to haze anybody at the high school or college level. The bill makes it a first-degree misdemeanor if the hazing puts someone at serious risk of injury or death. It becomes a felony if the hazing actually causes injury or death. But even with these laws in place, the ritual of hazing continues. The death of FAMU's Robert Champion last year is proof of that. Hazing has been around for a long time, and attorney John Phillips says it's not going away.
Hundreds of years. Yeah. Hundreds of years of men kind of picking on other men as a rite of initiation. The Navy SEALs do it.
Phillips attended the University of Alabama in the 1990s. He says while pledging a fraternity, he experienced hazing firsthand.
We had a broken arm. We had somebody kind of get pneumonia. You know, we had a house mother that would run people to the hospital for whatever reason. I had my girlfriend at the time, God bless her, smuggling me vitamins during, you know, what they call Hell Week. And it's so that I could stay, you know, nourished, because we were eating, you know, not slop, but, you know, macaroni type stuff off the floor. And it's, at the time, it was cool. As a 37-year-old attorney, I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I would, you know, have that mindset.
One of the problems, Phillips says, is that few people step forward to report it.
There's absolutely a code of silence, and it's, you know, me coming out 18 years later, you know, it's probably not a big deal. But if I had had this interview when I was in college, I'd have been, you know, ousted from the fraternity system as a whole.
Psychiatrist Dr. Peggy Greco says there is an innate human tendency to try and figure out if someone is part of a group or not.
What's interesting about it is not only is it used as a way to test potential new members, but also as a way to increase cohesion and commitment to the group.
Do you see a difference there? Does it happen more among adults than children?
There's definitely brain differences in younger adolescents that makes them more susceptible to making poor decisions in the context of peers. But that sense of wanting to belong becomes stronger as you progress through early adulthood.
Dr. Greco says studies have shown children with more confidence and better leadership abilities are less likely to fold under peer pressure and put themselves in dangerous situations. She says that confidence can come from parents teaching their kids to stand up against aggressive hazing rituals. It's also important, she says, to break that code of silence and speak out to school officials if you see something dangerous going on. Jason Law, Channel 4, the local.